and this is going to sound kind of like probably a bit sexist or whatever, but everything in general is a little bit of a power struggle. Like, I'm super into psychology and all that type of stuff. You cannot have like two equal partners that are completely deciding everything. I think everyone has their place in their position, and they all kind of give into relationships equally. But I think for the most part, and you can call me sexist if you want, if the man is in the leadership kind of position in a relationship, they tend to work out better. I don't actually believe that you can have this 50-50 equal relationship. I don't think it works. I don't think it exists. There's a bunch of scenarios where the woman is in that position too. They generally, in my opinion, again, this is my opinion, there's actually some data to back that up too, but let's say my opinion, when it's the female in the leadership position as well, they tend to end too. What's everyone's view on that? Because I know that's a little controversial. Where do we start last time? Let's go.
Go to you. I'm not sure. Go to you.
I'm not sure as well. That's why
I can go.
So all right, you go.
Yeah. So look, I am a little bit traditional in that I would like a partner who takes the lead. So like, I'm incredibly successful at work. I have my shit together, like in reality, but ultimately I really am looking for a partner who can take the lead in the relationship. So, and that doesn't mean I want to be in the kitchen, but I think being really clear around like, I like want a relationship with you and this is the way I see it going. And yeah, I think you were right in what you said before around it's not just communication that is important for a relationship to work. So I do agree with that traditional, men in the leadership role.
What do you think, Dave? You're a little conflicted on that one. What do you think?
No, like I do agree to a certain extent with that. Like,
To what extent?
that men should take the lead a little bit more because for like women nowadays, I feel like we've been successful outside, like in our careers and everything, and when it comes to a relationship, we would like to get back a little bit of like someone just to take the lead like that, and I want this relationship to go this way, or instead of just being the person who like initiates everything. It's tiring, it's exhausting for a woman sometimes to just like kind of tell them what to do, and it's refreshing when a man takes the initiative to do things. So I do agree that it's nice to have the man to take the lead every.
What are you laughing
No.
at? I'm laughing at his face.
Everything just coming full circle. Now, which is why I'm going to bring it back to some stuff we talked about before.
Yeah, I agree. I like the man to take the lead. Is that what the question is? Thank you.
I think
just
it
depends
kind of
what
What's the
take the lead
question?
stuff.
Yeah.
I think
Can I say something?
Yeah.
I think men should lead if you have a family. I think men should lead the family. Okay, but the part of women having like a beautiful career and being professional and working hard in this kind of stuff, I don't know how much this work, like raising the kids. That's my way to view things. For example, if you have 2 or 3 kids and the 2 of you are working full time, who's gonna look after the kids? Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it makes sense.
I would prefer my partner to look after my kids.
Yeah.
That's my opinion. But what do you have to say about that?
I just want to like go back to a few things, and then one of you can jump in. All right. So, everyone's being very respectful, which is great. Thank you so much, everybody. Like to do with where were we about traditionalism and that type of thing. So in saying that, you want the man to take the lead, be
It just
masculine,
depends where they take the lead.
savior guy. No, of course. Now this is the thing. That's why I kind of talked about before. Like you're saying, there's a bunch more that goes into relationships. There's financial markers. There's height markers. There's a physical appearance marker. There's a bunch of stuff that goes into females selecting the best quality guy they can get. Now, one of those markers is masculinity and like how kind of assertive they are and confidence and all that type of thing. Now, this is where there's a conflict. because you're going to find that most guys that are confident and assertive and all of that type of stuff are going to say, excuse me, D, I'm not okay with you hanging out with Johnny on the weekends. I'm taking the lead.
Poor
This
Johnny.
is the best thing for our relationship. I know that 99 men out of 100 are going to be looking for something other than friendship. So now this is where there's like this kind of, I don't want to say like anything offensive, but I would say in the West, particularly to do with feminist views and stuff like that, there's almost like a bipolar kind of contradictory viewpoints all the time. On one end, we want masculine men that take the lead and kind of steer the relationship in the correct direction. And on the other end, we're strong, independent women that have our own views and our own things. And if I want to hang out with Johnny on weekends, I will. And unfortunately, it's really hard for those two ideas or those two behaviors or psychologies to coexist. So this is where I find a lot of the dating in modern culture is super bipolar and fucking chaotic and all over the place, because a lot of the viewpoints don't adhere to either traditionalism or modern polyamory and free partnerships and free sex and going everywhere. So it's almost like they're trying to fuse the two, and I don't know if that's possible. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. It does.
Do you want to mention something?